Hey everyone. Now I'm going to install a dash cam in the BYD Seal, but I'm not talking about the factory one that people have been buying to install in here. I'm talking about a Blackview dash cam, like the one I've got here, which I think it's a DR970X. I'm going to install that, and you can see, hopefully, I've got an old DR900 here that I had sitting around, just temporarily there with the cigarette lighter plug. I've had that since I got the car, just to keep me going. But I'm going to install and wire up the DR970X, this new one here. So I'm going to show you how I do that in this video. Now the other one I'm talking about sits up there. You can see it's an empty space where you can buy a BYD camera to fit in there, but I like to have my own system that's separate to the car because I want it to be just a dash cam that works at all times. Now here's a power adapter from the cigarette lighter plug of the old one, and hopefully you can see this. It's just got the little DC connector here with the negative and positive. But on the new one, you can see, hopefully, there's an extra little connector here. You can see there's two there and the center one. And that's because this comes with the ground and also the constant battery supply and the accessory line. So what this does is makes it, you can set it in software so that you can record after you've turned accessories off until the voltage reaches a certain level, then turns off. So I want to use that because I want this thing to record even when the car's off. Okay, you've got to square it a bit, and then it comes off. Okay, that's the trick. Get that off. There we go. And the reason I'm taking that off is because I'm just going to run the cable for this up here. Actually, I'll show you what's in there. Okay, in here you can see there's the spot for the factory dash cam, which I won't be using, and the cables that run that. But what I will be doing is putting my toll tag in there. So, throw that in there. And now I'm going to run a cable from there up here for the real dash cam. I've just zip tied my toll tag in there so it shouldn't rattle around. Okay, I've just pulled this bit down because I want to run this draw wire through. And what I've noticed is the plug for this has entirely too many connectors on it for just two little lights. So that thing in the middle seems to have more to it. That could be something to do with that check if driver's alert or whatever it is. One day I might have to pull that open and see what's in there. But anyway, for now, I'm just running the cable through to this thing. Okay, now I'm passing the cable through to come out that hole. You might see my finger there. And I'm doing it on the left side because on the right side there's a big heat sink there which gets hot sort of over here. So I'm going to avoid that and just run them down the left here. And then send them out the front to the camera. Well, I've got the camera in and I've run the power cable down that side along the windscreen in there. You can't really see it. And the signal cable for the rear camera, which is going to be on the left, is above here so I can run that along the ceiling. So the power cable I've just got to get down here and put on the other side of the airbag because I don't want to interfere with the front of the airbag, if you know what I mean. Alright, now for the dash cam, I'm going to run a cable from the fuse box into the cabin of the car. So the way I've done that, or I'm about to do that, is I've just got the old screwdriver. You can see through the grommet there, get some light in. I've just stuck that through there next to the main cable loom. And then you can see the screwdriver on this side. So I'm just going to get a cable and shove it through that hole and bring it up to the fuse box. Alright, now in the fuse box, I've got to find one that's on all the time, not just accessories. So you see most of these have nothing on there. I'm just going on the test point here. But I found a few that I can use. That one there, but that's physically hard to get to. But there's one here, so I'm going to try and use that one. What I've got to confirm though is which pin actually has the 12 volt coming to it. So I'll do that now. So I'll try and show you what I mean. First of all, I'll just pluck that fuse out, which apparently is trailer controller. Just take that out. And I've just got one of these here. So essentially, if I plug that in, because I have to physically put it that way, this shouldn't have anything on this until I put a fuse in. So let's have a look. That's got nothing there. So to confirm it, I'll go put just a fuse in here, and then I should see voltage. Okay, so the dash cams have a 3 amp fuse each, and I've got two of them, so that's 6 amps. So I've got a 7.5 amp fuse here, and the bottom one is going to be for the existing one. But this circuit that I'm tapping off is the top one. So I'll just put that in there, which is a little bit tight to say the least. So just put that in. And now when I put that in, that's for this circuit here. So piss them off. Just double check that. Yep. So, which one was it? Okay, that one there. Now I should have 12 volts when I get around to There we go, well, 13 volts. So that's going to be my circuit for the dash cams. So I'll take that out and just put the other fuse in for the normal circuit that was there. Okay, so the one underneath is for the actual fuse that it originally had, and that's it there. And the positive comes up this terminal here, and it won't go through here at the moment until I put my fuse in. So that's for my circuit. So I'm going to leave my fuse out now so it doesn't short out on anything, and just put this back in here. So that will sit like that. And now what I'm going to do is wrap this around here in such a way that it can come out the bottom here because there's a bit of a gap over here. So that's going to sit like that. Fuse holder back in there, and the lid on. And now I'll neaten up the cables here. Just to confirm the other end of it, if I can hold that, it should have no voltage on it. So there it is, just nothing there. So when I put that fuse in, I'll have 12 volts here. Alright, so that's the end of it from this side. It just comes out of the fuse box, zip tied along to the existing loom, and into the main part of the car. Okay, I've got the Blackview camera on the bench here, and the power supply, well the power plug, has an extra little terminal there. And at the end, it's not just a positive and negative, they've gone the 12 volt and the accessory line. So I've put them in my little chocky blocks here, and I'll turn that on. See what happens. So now I'll plug the thing in, plug fucking in, I've got the memory card in there. So I'll just turn that on here. There it is.
Initializing SD card.
Initializing SD card.
Do not disconnect the power.
Don't disconnect the power. Rah, rah, rah. What I want to see is how this records in parking. So I want to leave it on all the time.
For your safe driving.
Blackview for your safe
Starting
driving.
normal recording.
So it's recording now. What I want to know is what happens when I turn off the accessory line.
Parking mode on.
Parking mode on. Okay, so it knows straight away it's parking mode. Okay, so that's what it does. It uses power constant, but just knows that it's parking mode immediately rather than wait. I've run a yellow constant 12 and a red accessories 12 from the fuse box there to go inside to the dash cams. So I've got the 12 volt and the accessory line coming from the front, and I've got my ground here, so that gives me the 3 cables that I need to connect the dash cam. Alright, I've got the cable run down to the bottom here where I'll be joining it to the other cables that go to the fuse box, and you can see I've cut off the existing fuses on the dash cam, firstly because they're a bit chunky to keep in the cable, but secondly I don't need them because I've got the fuses in the fuse box now that'll protect the whole cable. And for the rear camera, I've got its power here, which I'll just cut and put to the constant 12 so we can monitor parking in the way it used to. And that's just going to go along the side here with the other cable loom, hopefully easily. Alright, now I'm going to solder all these up. I've got the power supply here, I've got the new dash cam here with the 3 that go there, and I've got the old dash cam here that'll just go to the yellow. So I'll solder them up. Okay, I've just soldered those, but I didn't film it because it was a pain in the arse enough just soldering in here, let alone filming it too, so I want to keep the arse pain to a minimum. These are the 2 that go to the dash cam, and these are the 3 from, well, the chassis and the 2 from the fuse box. So I'll just put the heat shrink on them and finish that up. Alright, so that's all connected. You can see I've got the heat shrink over it there, it's soldered inside, and I'm just going to tuck this away in here and put all this shit back together. Okay, now the glove box is all back together. And for all of those who said I'd never get that back together, go fuck yourself, and don't go assuming that I can't do something just because you can't. Now the rear camera that goes with that front one is actually mounted on the left hand side here. So you can see I've got that running up here for the left camera. And what I've also got here is that other power cable for the main unit that I'm using for the back. So I'm using a 4K one for the back. And its rear camera will be on this side window there as well. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to find a spot for this. And I've actually got it running, if I can show you, on VLC in there. So as I move it around, I can see what it's actually looking at, so I can set it up in the right spot before I go sticking it to the window. Okay, what you can see now is I have full coverage all around the car. As I walk around, just sort of filming it here. It picks up each camera, you know, pretty standard, so I can get a recording if anything happens, no matter where it is. Now I like the Blackview because I can have it on the network and download footage directly from it. And I can also have a look, dash cam to front. I can just look at it here in VLC. If I get it on the right window, you can see it's there. Okay, that's just the live camera. You can do stuff with it. But what I found with this DR970 compared to the old 900 is that it won't stay on the network unless it can get out to the internet. Now, what I'm showing here, I'll just show you DNS. It tries to get to the Blackview cloud, and I've set my DNS server to return 0, so it doesn't actually do that. But one thing I've found is that it tries to get to the Blackview cloud, but before that, it checks to see if the internet's there. Now I don't have it in this packet capture, but it did a connection to Google and then tried a connection to Blackview cloud. And what I found was if it couldn't get to Google, it just dropped off the network altogether. So what I did, I set it up so the DNS resolves Blackview cloud to 0000. So it can't get to Blackview, so I can block it there, but I still have to let it go to Google, otherwise it won't stay on the network. So for me to simply ping it, it would have dropped off. But if you let it get out to Google at the start, then just block Blackview, it's okay, it's stable on the network. So that was a little bit annoying that I had to do that, but that's how all these bloody companies are operating these days. And another thing, I've got some footage here, and what you can do is if you look at what strings are in it, so let's just pick one here, and more of that. Within the video file itself, it's got the model, it's also got the serial number, and of course it's also got GPS stuff within the video file. So that's all contained within that MP4 file. As you can see, there's GPS stuff. So all this information leaks out, and you have to do what you can to stop it, but it just shits me that you have to do these things. But anyway, if you had a video and you wanted to send it to someone else, just recompress it and strip that crap out, and you should be fine. Now the other thing I do is turn off all the impact detection on it, so it just has all these normal mode files. That way I can join them together. So I've got a little script here, I should have showed you that. Cat video just concatenates the video and makes one bigger video file from all the little ones. So this won't take long to do. Okay, so what I just did then was make a video here from all of those because they're the same format. You can just join them up. So that's how I can get a continuous long video from small ones without dodgy time jumps when it toggles between normal mode and impact or event mode. If you're curious to know how I did all those comms to the camera, I did a video on that years ago, which you can check out. Okay, so that's the dash cams done. They're under my control and the video's top quality. So I'm happy with that. Anyway, that'll do for now. Till next time, take it easy.